Good afternoon from rainy Portland, Oregon. This is Katie Proctor, the owner of BwP Picks.
And this is comics critic Douglas Wolk.
And we wanted to talk about a couple comics that came out this week that we are super excited about.
First up, Minky Woodcock, The Girl Who Handcuffed Houdini by Cynthia Von Bueller from Titan.
This is, as far as I know, the first comic book that Cynthia Von Bueller has done. She's a really interesting multimedia artist. She's done music, she's done theater, she's done children's books, and this is something very different.
So this is a piece of historical fiction. This is centered around the death of Harry Houdini. And Cynthia tells us on the opening page that it is based on news clippings, photographs, letters, telegrams, court documents, and autopsy reports all around Harry Houdini's death in 1926, and all of those documents are available at minkywoodcock.com, which is a fun little Easter egg there.
And Sir Arthur Conan Doyle is also involved in this story.
As is Agatha Christie.
And there's a bit of entertainingly gratuitous nudity in there.
There is. So there is a sham spiritualist who appears midway through the story who uses her nudity and wiles,
feminine wiles,
to take advantage of some of the gentlemen in the story. And what I really loved about that, when I flipped through it, I sort of flinched because that is my sort of knee-jerk response to gratuitous comic nudity. And on reading it, I really enjoyed its placement in the story. And thinking about that move personally, from like, oh, it's going to be one of those, to like, hey, this is fun, I think really hinges on the fact that there are a couple of other, that there are several female protagonists in the story. And one of them is this woman who is using her sexiness to manipulate men, and the other two are not doing that. They have their own agendas, and so that's something I really appreciate in the story, is that by having lots of women, we can tell a story about a woman without pretending that that is just what women do.
And here's a question for viewers at home. If you could maybe leave a comment in this, your favorite other historical fiction in comics form, because there's not enough historical fiction in comics. I'd like to see more of it, so if there's more that you've read that you'd like to point out to us, we would love to know about it. The other comic we're talking about this week is The Wicked and the Divine, number 33. This is the amazing all-black cover, which I guess would be the Jamie McKelvey cover, or who's the designer on this one? Sergio Serrano. Let's call it the Sergio Serrano cover, because it's very typographically minimal. This is the end of the arc of the series called Imperial Phase, which is, I think, named after a quote from the Pet Shop Boys about the period in pop group's career where they can do gigantic things and can do no wrong and are just on fire. And that's basically where Kieran Gillen and Jamie McKelvey are with this too. This issue also, we're not going to spoil it, but there's a note from Kieran Gillen after the end saying, yeah, you probably want to go back and reread the entire series after this. Like, yes, I do want to go back and reread I need to go back and reread the entire series after this.
That is definitely where I was left. About midway through the series, midway through this issue, I had a moment that was, have I ever known what's going on? I don't know what's going on right now. I need to go back and reread everything. So thanks, Kieran and Jamie. That's what my weekend is going to be about.
And Gillen and McKelvey, they know what's going on. They've clearly known what's been going on since the start. They just haven't told us all of the rules, and it's amazing.
So Douglas, if someone hasn't been reading The Wicked and the Divine, obviously this is a great spot to jump on. Don't jump on with this issue.
Don't jump on with this issue. Jump on the beginning of the arc.
Or the beginning of the series.
Beginning of the series. It's a good place.
Why should they read it?
So the elevator pitch that Gillen has presented is gods as pop stars and pop stars as gods.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of stuff about how divinity works and how mortality, its opposite side, works, and how art works, and the relationship between mortality and art. And it's also just unbelievably entertaining and fun, and every one of the characters is somebody that you love or hate or both simultaneously.
And it's luminous and beautiful, and the art just glows off the page, and it's super duper gay, which is always a plus for me.
Question for, again, for viewers at home. other game-changing issues of a series, an issue where you realize that everything you knew up to that point was wrong, and it was really, really cool to realize that everything you knew was wrong. Let us know in the comments.
Thanks very much for watching.
See you next week.